What's up, Boneheads? In this video, we're going to take my Lexus GX here from sounding wimpy to sounding burly for 30 bucks. And we're going to get rid of this big old honkin' muffler. So stick around and see the process. All right, folks, so here's the plan. The exhaust on the Lexus is really quiet, and I bought a V8 vehicle and I want it to sound like a V8 vehicle and not like a little runabout mom car. So the plan is to get rid of this entire muffler, the one that's right in the center of the truck, and replace it with this straight through. So we've got our 2.5-inch section, which we can cut slightly shorter, and then we've got this little 2.5 to 2.25 adapter. So we should be able to mount it up to this size, and yeah, simple as that. We're going to get rid of the big chunk, put a pipe in its place, leave the resonator at the back, and it's gonna sound freaking awesome. So here we go. The first step was to spray some penetrating oil on the rear bolts and remove them right in front of the rear axle. The next step was to remove the bolts in the center with some more penetrating oil and pull the whole center section of the exhaust out of the truck. Once I had the exhaust removed, I had to do some measuring and some doodling. The main things I was trying to measure was the length between the inlet and the outlet, as well as the offset side to side and up and down. Then I could draw some trigonometry that would give me the length of the new piece and what angles I should cut it at, so that it would account for the offset that the muffler originally had, since it was a center inlet and off to the side on the outlet. So I basically had to create a piece that would mimic that same length and direction and be able to give me similar dimensions. Alright, so here's the layup with all the pieces cut. Cut a little angle at this end to get the offset that's on the original muffler. And another angle cut. And then we've got the little reducer piece, and that'll weld right onto the end. So we'll be able to get that offset in there, and we should be able to tack everything up together, make sure it fits, and weld it all up. It took a lot of clamps and blocks to hold things in place. Clamping little pieces of round stock on the floor and getting it to be in the right position is not very fun, but we got it all tacked together so we could test fit it on the vehicle and make sure it all fit like it was supposed to. Alright, we've got a tacked together version here. Let's see if we can get it up into place and reach what we want to reach. Oh, I'm flipped. Ah, son of a gun. I flipped the whole thing 180. This is why we check. I misremembered where this went. On the upside, the length looks pretty good. That's a good sign. I think, yeah, I should just be able to flip this 180, break those two tacks, flip it, then we'll be good. Alright, I flipped my welds 180 where the main section is. So the only thing I need to do now is cut the hanger off the muffler and stick it back there, because otherwise I'm gonna have nothing holding it in place in front of the axle. And we don't want that. I was able to cut off the existing pieces of hanger that were just steel tube welded to the side of the old muffler can. I was able to Frankenstein those together and weld it to the end of the pipe and get it in a close enough location to reuse everything. I also had to tweak the angle of my cuts on the long piece just a little bit to get it to fit better. Then finally it was time to weld. I basically just used a series of tiny little tacks stacked on top of each other so as to not melt through the material, and it all welds together great. Alright, I just finished putting the exhaust all back together. It's fully welded, it's all bolted back up where it's supposed to be. I'm about to start it for the first time. I'm excited. It's been like 4 hours of work, but it's gonna be sweet. Here we go. Fire in the hole. Hopefully we don't wake the whole neighborhood, but I don't think it's gonna be that loud. Oh. It shut off and the check engine light is on. It's probably because I unplugged the battery. We'll let it cycle and see what happens. All right. Oh, we're dialed. Ooh. All right, we're gonna roll all the windows down. It's definitely not too loud at idle. Time to take her for a little spin. Oh yeah. She sounds nice. Oh, it's even quieter outside in the garage. It was kind of echoey. Ooh. Of course it's gonna yell at me about the seatbelt. Alright, this is all the windows open. Just got a little bit of rumble to it. That's what we like. Oh, dude. It's throaty. It's definitely not like excessive. It's just right, I'd say. It's I'm gonna put all the windows up, see how loud it is inside. Oh. That is exactly what you want. I was afraid it was gonna freaking drown me out. We are chilling. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, so no muffler, just resonator. Oh, it sounds great. It's got rumble, it's got some throatiness. You can actually hear the exhaust behind the truck, but it's definitely not. We'll see if it's like droney at highway speed, but it's definitely very like normal truck loud. Oh, that's great. I'm stoked. Alright, so here's a stock engine start from the inside. Normal stuff. Not very loud.